Investigators say surveillance video inside the Mueller plant says shows the first shots were fired at around 2:22 in the morning. Albertville police got the call around a couple minutes after at around 2:30. Albertville police chief says first responders were at the scene within the next 2 minutes. By 2:35, officers were heading inside the Mueller plant. Officers evacuated employees and eventually found 4 victims in separate parts of the plant. Officers performed CPR and life-saving measures on all victims. An ambulance was able to take 1 victim to the hospital at 2:53 in the morning. Another victim was taken to the hospital half an hour later. 2 others died from their injuries. Officers at the scene believed this was an active shooter situation for more than half an hour. At 3:20 in the morning, officers realized the suspect was no longer at the Mueller plant and began their search across the county. The suspect, Andreas Horton, was found dead near Gunnersville Cemetery at around 6 in the morning. Officers began processing the scene for their investigation after realizing Horton was no longer in the plant. They will now be conducting interviews with family and workers at the plant. Now, the Albertville police chief says the shooter's family is fully cooperating. Investigators have been able to search the suspect's home and say they don't need a search warrant at this time. Reporting live in Albertville, Alex Torres-Perez, Way 31 News.
Today, the families of the surviving victims shared updates on their conditions. Both young men are currently being treated at Erlanger Hospital in Chattanooga. Casey Sampson's family says he will need spinal cord rehab once he gets out of the hospital. They said he does not have feeling below his upper chest at this time. They added that right now he's not able to breathe on his own, but will hopefully be off the ventilator sometime later today. Isaac Bird's family also shared an update with us. He said Isaac was shot in the back and the bullet shattered multiple vertebrae. He underwent surgery to reconstruct and fuse some of them. His family is asking for prayers as he recovers. Coming up in about 30 minutes, our team coverage continues. You'll hear from the community rallying around the 2 men we just told you about. In the meantime, all of our reporting on this story is online at waytv.com. Those stories include links to GoFundMe accounts to help the families impacted by this tragedy.